I keep a chain around my wrist. She's decorated in rust and flecks of silver, and whenever I move her, she slowly stains the ground red. When I reach my hands above my head, she screams until I sheepishly lower them, and we force this neutral coexistence. Tonight, I sit by a riverbank. The moon's glow casts a harsh portrait of trees onto the water, and I watch as the leaves dance sorrowfully with the wind. If I squint, I can see the river churning through the ground, darting into the night like a frightened snake. It's a clear evening, stars like a cat's eye pinpricking the sky. A faint smell of storm clings to my nose, and I wonder, when the rain comes for us, will my chain float or sink? Next to me sits a radio, slowly melting into the ground as he screeches out 9 news. Like the chain, he's all peeling paint and exposed metal, with a crooked antenna his flailing limb. When the water knocks on our door, he'll certainly drown too. Maybe that's why he sings so bitterly. He clears his throat. Tonight on 9 News, 20 dead in hospital, another 60 tomorrow, workers strike in Sydney from digging 4-foot-1 graves. Old Mother Earth is getting too hot. Back in the 10s, when Apocalypse was only the title of Hollywood's newest feature, I avoided the riverbanks. Instead, I'd sit inside, waiting patiently from this future I gleaned from teen magazines. And I was a reckless, beautiful young thing, unaware of chains that provoked the sound of thunder. Then the sick started dying, and the world started ending, and I moved to the riverbanks. I think tomorrow isn't going to come, I tell the radio. My voice feels rasped, aching from this age of isolation. You have to hope that it will, the radio barks. Look around you, this is not a dying world. Do you truly believe it's ending? The storm cracks on the horizon. The radio gulps and I stare at the mud. Hope is a luxury, I tell the radio host, feeling the chain nod in agreement. What good is there in fighting for something so penniless? Hope is a human condition, replies the radio host. You're compelled to hope, as you are to swirl your feet in the river. You don't need to be attached to this fear of the end. Glancing down at the river, I flex my legs, feeling the water lap slowly at my skin. There's a certainty to the end. The chain pleads for it, and the radio preaches it, and I sit, debating my position. Who am I to hope for a pleasant future, to self-sabotage to make the end that much more painful? But then again, what if I am wrong? To accept the end as one would an abusive lover? What if tomorrow comes? Perhaps there is something in the future, something more worthy than waiting for flooded rivers. I find myself looking around at the world. The water whispers as it races down the stream, and the bugs listen as they flirt with the shrubs and bushes. Mud purrs from underneath my fingers and parts as I draw strange patterns. A warm night's breeze ruffles my clothes, music in my hair and distorting the radio's voice. The earth feels alive, a song so sweeter than what the radio preaches. Maybe there is life beyond the end of the world, if I dare hope for it. Pull my feet out of the water, wincing as they ache from misuse. Deer-like I stand, and slowly unwind the chain from my arm. She uncoils in thick chunks, and I struggle to lift her before releasing her into the water. She lets out a gurgling sound like an aging opera singer taking her final bow. Stepping backwards, I turn before she hits the riverbed, away from the storm and snarking water. Mud clings to my feet and my legs shiver, but the night air pats my back and I find myself smiling. Unburdened by an attachment to the end, my wrist suddenly feels softer, almost alive again. A standing ovation trickles from the radio. I pick him up, happy to have him live on my porch. We may coexist. Before I can change my mind, I march up to the house. Because the world doesn't end, it just feels like it does. There might still be hope.